Hey everybody, it's Seth and Paul for Learning From Us podcast. We have an amazing guest today. They're both doing finger cannons or what finger?
I got a shotgun.
This is Zion Clark, a very famous wrestler, entrepreneur. What am I saying? An inspirational speaker here in Ohio. So we talked to him for damn near an hour about overcoming the odds of his life, what he's doing in the future, and it's an amazing thing. So join us on Learn From Us podcast right now. So we're here with Zion Clark. Zion, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic, man. You know, I'm just glad to be here.
Thank you. We're super stoked. Paul, I'm nervous. I told you I'm nervous.
You almost called me Beth, by the way.
Beth is my wife, and they're equally as sexy. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Because my story of finding this dude. Well, I didn't find him. It's like Columbus. I didn't find anything. He was out there, and I stumbled across him. So
how did you stumble across him?
Well, I've watched everything on Netflix besides his documentary. So I was finally down to the last show, but I just found it. You know what it is? I like watching CrossFit. So it suggested some wrestling stuff, and it found you don't call it a documentary, do you? The Netflix show?
It's a short film series, but it's technically a documentary.
Yeah, and it won some awards.
Yeah, it won 2 sports Emmys, and it won Best Film at the Sundance Film Festival a couple years ago before it got on Netflix.
Yeah, so if you're at home, just type in Zion Clark. It's Clark, right?
Yes.
Just type in Zion. Wow, I told you I'm nervous, Paul. You should see this guy host. He's all anyway. Go on Netflix. Definitely watch about 11-minute documentary.
11 minutes, folks. You have 11 minutes.
You have 11 minutes, and on this dude. And so I'm watching it, and obviously I don't know what to expect. It's incredibly inspirational. I'm wiping away tears, and the whole time I'm thinking, man, where is this dude? I'd love to talk to him. I'd love to ask you the questions that hopefully I'll remember. I'd love to ask you questions that maybe some other people haven't and get your thoughts on it. But then by the end of it, I see that you said Ohio. My jaw hit the floor, and I somehow tracked you down, and it wasn't too much. This was only like a week ago, Paul.
Yeah, you called me, and you're like, listen, I just watched this guy. We got to have him on the show. I'm like, all right, get him on the show.
So I wanted to thank you for having your associates get back to me so quickly, trusting us, coming in. So I know you've done this 1,000 times, it might get old. So give us a brief sort of introduction. If no one has ever heard of you, what is your sort of story of you're 22, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell us your little bit of your life story quickly.
So as you guys know, my name is Zion Clark, and I am 22 years old. I come from a long history of foster care. I spent 16 years in the foster care system from birth. In those 16 years, it was a lot of abuse and just malnourishment. And, I didn't get to grow up like a regular kid. If anything, I grew up far from it. But I made the best of it. I ended up getting a family. My mom, my beautiful mother, her name's Kimberlli Hawkins. She gave me the chance to have a home, gave me that family setting. So I was able to tune in my focus to do the things I want to do to inspire the world, be a high-level track athlete, be a decent wrestler, because, those are my passions. This is what I want to do. And, I'm trying to make it to the very top, man.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
For those people listening to our podcast, they have no idea why we have Zion on.
Oh, I see, because they're listening.
They're listening. So can we point out the obvious, Zion? Can you please explain to everybody who's listening why you're on the show?
That's right, Paul. Thank you. I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
That's okay.
I don't have legs. just wanted to throw that out there.
That's not a joke. That is real. He does not have legs.
Right.
He's still taller than me though, but
right. So you were born with, what's the disease called?
It's called caudal regression syndrome.
And so basically, did everything not grow right or something in the womb?
So here's how it happened. So my birth mother, her name's Melanie. She's not the most desirable woman in the world at all. She was a cokehead. Did meth, did anything possible. Was on Molly. Was drinking, all while pregnant with me. And at the same time, before she gave birth to me, she went to jail and then had me. So you know how if you're pregnant in jail, you don't really get the best treatment. Like you have the kid, they take the kid. You're not getting all the right things you need. And so while I was forming, my lower limbs didn't grow the right way, and I had to have these rods put in my back.
So were you born with limbs then?
I was born with limbs, yeah.
Okay.
So I have 2 small feet, but I can't use the one. But my right foot, I'm able to use it when I wrestle. I've worked hard to build it up, like build the strength up. And trust me, I've broken this foot. I've maimed it. I've done everything I could possibly do to it, and it's building up the strength. Got to break it down to build it back up. And now I have like a pretty strong foot. I use it as a post when I wrestle.
So I was trying to describe you to some people when I was telling them I get to interview you, and it's kind of like you kind of don't have hips either, right? I mean, like not wide hips, right?
No, I have hips, but it's not like wide hips, because like I'm able to turn and twist and pivot everything, because I get around on my hands and I'm able to do things that most people think that I couldn't do.
Yeah, you're right, Paul. So let me also describe this. So this dude is absolutely shredded.
Jacked.
From about
you got to come
the belly,
check out
the belly
YouTube.
Check out YouTube. Okay, so like again, I'm a wedding photographer by nature, and so now I'm moving into this zone where I'm getting so flabby and old that like these brides are now more ripped than I am. So of course, like now I got to do.
Did you say brides?
Brides, like,
okay,
like women are crossfitting. Like, great.
Okay.
Now I'm flabby. Anyway, that's another story. So my kids are more jacked, but this dude is completely shredded. And when I first saw your documentary, I was thinking to myself, like, how would you be successful wrestling? And then when then I scoured YouTube and found some videos of you wrestling, and then I realized it's equally as how does someone get points on you when you're so low to the ground.
Do people complain that you have some advantage or something like that?
I'm sure, Paul.
I get complaints, but at the same time,
like, who's going to actually verbalize a complaint?
like,
I mean, who's the asshole who does that?
So when I would wrestle kids, so middle school, like youth in middle school, some kids would be scared to wrestle me because they'd never seen anybody.
I'm worried about the parents. I'm not worried about the kids. I'm worried about some parent.
Oh, parents thinking that? Well, parents, I never really cared what parents or anybody thought whatsoever, because
Really?
I love the sport. I've been doing it since I was 8 years old. I found it fun. That's why I never quit at it. I don't intend on quitting. I've never thought about it, and trust me, I sucked.
Like, to start.
Oh, I was awful.
Well, of course.
You don't understand. Like, I was like the worst. I didn't remotely start to do good until my senior year of high school.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What was the turning point? What did you figure out you could, because I think I might know the answer, but I'm not going to be stupid enough to say, but I saw some of your films, and what did you develop to like be really successful at it?
That's a hard question, but I never really know how to answer that, because my freshman year of high school didn't win a single match. Sophomore year didn't win a single match.
Oh.
Junior year I only won 2 matches, and they were
How
JV
good did that feel,
matches.
though?
Oh, dude, when I won the first match of my high school career, I felt awesome. I like pinned this cat in like 30 seconds, but it was a JV match. But it felt good, and I was finally starting to learn what I can do with my body to enable myself to beat these guys.
What switched by the time you were a senior? What did you guys develop?
I got adopted. Like, I'm gonna tell you straightforward. I got adopted, and my focus going through high school was like wondering, like, am I gonna get kicked out of this house? Am I gonna get arrested? Like, I don't know.
Arrested?
I was not a great kid, and a lot of people know that. I grew up rough. I was a troubled child. When
you say you weren't a good kid, what do you mean? Like,
I would start fights with people. Sometimes, sometimes just because I didn't like how their face looked, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like kind of an attitude thing. Plus, like, I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
You know how teens are.
Paul played chess in high school, so
every once in a while, I would just toss a rook here and just go. But heck with you.
I was able to get some focus, some peace of mind when I got adopted, and that made a turnaround. My grades started to go up. I stopped skipping school.
Tell the story about your mom. I saw her in the documentary. I saw her on Ellen. She's incredible, very uplifting.
Yes.
Just the type of person I'd love to be friends with. She just seems like a great person. So how did you guys come in contact with each other, and how did that process go down? You were like 16?
Yes. So I was getting kicked out of my house because I got into a fight on Thanksgiving and put a couple holes in the wall, got a chair stuck in the ceiling of the basement.
I'd love to see Paul try and throw a chair up into Keep going, though. Keep going.
But they were kicking me out, and I was about to get put in a group home in Cincinnati. The agency called my mom now and told her, like, they've exhausted all of their options. Like, there's nowhere to go, nowhere for me to go. So I'm going to a group home, or I'm just going to be homeless. There was not really an option. There's nowhere else for me to go. They're like, I've went through all the homes I could possibly go through. And at that time, my mom's only taking girls. She was only fostering girls. She didn't have her license to foster boys.
Oh, there's a separate license for that?
Oh, you got to have license for everything nowadays.
Oh, wow.
But they asked her if she would check me out. And I didn't know she did this. I had a band concert. I was a trumpet player in high school. And I had a band concert. And she came and checked me out. And I had no idea she was there. My mom told me that she knew I was her kid right there. And after that, got me in the house. And couple months went by, and I remember one day I come home from school and my caseworker's there. So like being a foster kid, when you don't know the caseworker's gonna be at the house and
That's
you show up,
news.
yeah, it's it makes your heart beat a little faster. So I'm like, okay, whose car is that? And then I walk inside and I see the caseworker. So I'm like, oh man, what did I do this time? Like at this point, I was still kind of getting in trouble doing stuff every once in a while, but it was like slowing down a lot. I had met some friends on my street. My boy Casey.
These guys?
Yeah, they live right a couple houses down when I first moved in with my mom, and I became friends with one of my closer friends, name's Doris, and I just kind of stopped hanging out with a bad crowd, hanging out better group of people, had a better family, better friends, and I mellowed out a lot. Now trust me, I'm still a little crazy and whatever you
we'll get into
call
that
it. But I remember she was like, Zion, I need you to sit down. And I came and sat down, and I was like, man, like I was thinking like, all right, I'm just gonna go pack my bags. Like that's what's going through my head. But it wasn't that at all. She's like, we love you here in our home, like you've been here forever. Would you want to be my son? And I told you like, yes, like I love this family. My uncles, they're great. My sisters, they're great. Everybody in our family, they're great. They have love for me. I never experienced love like that. And it just seemed like the perfect fit. And on top of that, I've been in homes where like it seemed like the perfect fit, but it really wasn't. It was kind of a false sense of like a false home. And it gave me
What do you mean by that?
So I keep saying like a lot.
That's okay.
It's okay. You're doing great.
But homes I would go to, it would always seem that things were great at first, but they weren't. Everybody, you go into a new home, especially when the caseworker's there, they seem like a loving group of people. They seem like they want the best for you. They want all this and all that, but wait till the caseworker's gone for a month. A lot can happen in 30 days. A lot can happen in a year, 2 years, with like caseworkers only visiting once a month. And you don't know what those parents are going to tell the caseworker. They could tell everything's fine and really everything's not fine. I would go through a whole bunch of crap where I wouldn't be getting food. I would go through a whole bunch of stuff where I would get beat up, like literally beat up. My nose, I have a little scar on my nose. I had a chair thrown at my face when I was 8 years old. And the lady sent me to school like that with a cracked nose. And she tried, I told on her at school because, I'm a kid, I'm 8 years old. And not everybody believes a kid. So like, say you're a principal and a kid gets off the bus and they're like, my mom threw a chair at me. Like, what do you say to that? Are you like thinking like, oh, that's crazy?
And they're paid, right?
Yes.
So that's the incentive they have. Like that's the big thing is that, because I'm thinking to myself, like if you're that terrible with kids, why take it? But I just learned recently they get paid for every kid they take.
It's always the money. There's no foster family in this country that doesn't get paid to foster their children. The agencies pay them to take care of the kids. And, it's no one believes me. No one says anything. And then they call the mom. I go back home and guess what? I'm in even more trouble because I told on her even though I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense. And so that's not a home. That's not a family. That's not some place I want to go back to every day.
Yeah.
I was like, I would go to school and I would cry as a kid because I had to go home. I would be terrified to go home. Being at school was the best thing that could happen to me. And, my mom got me and I loved going home. I love being at home. I love being around them. I love being around my sisters. Yeah, as a normal family, everybody clashes heads every once in a while.
Of course.
It happens. It's normal.
And how many siblings do you have?
I have two older sisters.
Awesome. And they're also adopted?
No, they are my mom's biological
Oh,
children.
excellent.
So you have my sister Indy. She is 23. You have my sister Quay, who's 29, about to be 30 this year.
Oh, excellent. And is your mother married?
No, my mom is single.
Okay, gotcha.
You interested, Paul?
I was asking for if he had a father, and like he hasn't mentioned the father yet.
No, so I don't have a dad. My mom's not married, and I do not know who my father is at all.
How do you so it's funny is this is like a business podcast on like business and brand building, entrepreneurship, investing. After this show, we'll argue about taxes and politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun.
So, but
why we have him on though is because of the mentality of no excuses. You know, I'm very big on no excuses, and it's to me, it's always like, you know, here's a guy with no legs who's a great wrestler.
I'm very big on providing excuses. Plenty of them for most of my life.
He has a Rolodex, and whenever I say, Seth, why don't you do this? He goes, hang on a second. He flips through it and he goes, I don't have the time.
Like a marriage, a
kids,
fathership,
of course.
Multiple business. I'm trying to juggle.
Combing your beard.
It's a tough
That's a nice
gig.
beard you have, man. How long did it take you to grow that out?
Are you gonna grow one?
I'm trying to. I'm struggling a little bit. I remember a couple years
patchy?
ago, I couldn't even grow the left side of my chin hair. My boy Casey kept making fun of me, so I like started
You're
putting all
looking
these
pretty good.
beard.
You're looking pretty fly.
I would put all these oils on my face to try to grow.
Did that
back.
work?
Oh, the growth oils.
Yeah, I think it did work because like this is pretty nice now. So like at least my
2
chin
years
looks
later.
nice. Yeah,
2 years later.
Look at them.
gotta
This
love
is
it
only.
more.
I started this in February, so I mean it can happen. So that's why I wanted to have you on. I mean, we have small business owners. Paul says he's always intrigued about someone who can drum up an extra $50K out of as a side gig than someone who's been given millions of dollars and given businesses by their dad. So
Or their corporate life.
yeah. And so like I really wanted to
That's
have
how
you.
surprised I was when you're like, I'm like, hey, how much do you make? And you're like, don't. I'm like, damn, that's freaking awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess would you say you're in the business of building your brand, and how do you do that? I mean, the reason I had you on is just the inspiration that you provide for people after being dealt such a hand, and then even I think a worse one in this foster care. How do you overcome
So
all of this bullshit?
let's recap that. Not only is it foster care,
Go on.
it's also his physical situation. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that. So have you ever heard of the Iron Cowboy?
I don't think so.
Netflix? Anybody?
It's another Netflix.
So I
documentary.
brought him to talk to us, and he did. You know what a triathlon is, right? Ironman. He did 50 of them in 50 straight days in 50 different states.
Why?
Yeah, right. Why?
Well, the great thing is, I mean,
So he did 33 in a year, which was the record. Then he wanted to do 50.
keep in mind, people like train for years to do one.
So he started in Hawaii, and
Hawaii,
then night
Alaska.
flew to Alaska, then flew to Washington, and then
Drove all around the country.
anyway, Paul had him in to speak, but these people are on another planet.
And that's the thing. It's like that when now in the company, when somebody says something to me is hard, I go, is that hard, or is 50 Ironmans in 50 different states and 50 straight days hard? You know, it's kind of like the same thing. Excuses. Like if somebody gives you an excuse, do you immediately hit them with, oh, I'm sorry, were you raised in foster care and had no legs?
How did you overcome? I can't even. Like, what have you?
There's got to be people. There got to be people who have your same physical situation, and how do they end up? Like, have you met? I mean, I'm assuming you've met others.
I have met people in my same situation, and sad to say, they aren't anything like me. Which I want people to feel more inspired.
Yeah, of
to
course.
get up because like.
So, what made you different? What do you think made you different?
And when did it switch? Because you said you were troubled. You went out of your way to.
It's lit. I'm good. I will say this again and again and again.
I wasn't listening
It's
the first
my.
time.
It's
Sorry.
my.
Sorry about
It's
that.
my mother. She really gave me that sense of stability. I did not have that whatsoever.
And it just literally went like that.
Not like that.
Well, you know what I mean. When I say that, I mean like in months.
Yeah. It over time, I kind of adjusted to a new way of life. I was a better person.
Was she strict?
Yes, but here's the thing. You take care of your business of what you're supposed to do, then you have free time to do what you want. And the way my mom worked was I got all my homework done. I did all the chores I needed to do. She didn't care what I went and did with my friends as long as she knew where I was and knew that I was safe. And as long as she knew where I was and I was safe, it was okay with her. But at the same time, I had to have everything I needed to do done first.
See, I like that. I'm a big believer in that. It's funny. My girlfriend, she's always staying up late at night to get her work done. And my comment is, if you just did this at 3, you'd be able to go to bed at 10. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing. When I was a kid, I did my homework the second I got home. Not because I was a nerd, even though that was the case. It was more because I wanted to not be there at 9 o'clock at night going, oh my God, I still have to do this. You know what I mean? So she instilled that in you. Before that, you never did that, huh?
No, I wouldn't do my homework. I would have chores to do, but chores would be a punishment for me. If that makes any sense.
Well, it does.
So growing up, like until your mom adopted you, like how many people in your life loved you? And vice versa, how many did you love?
Like 4.
Were you able to keep friends along the way, or like just be like, I meet somebody, we become friends, and then I'm shipped off to another home, and I'm not friends with them anymore?
It was like that for the most part. I was able to make a couple friends up until my mom got me the friends I had up to then. Like my friend Kelsey, we've been friends for about 10 years, going on 11 years now. I was getting bullied in school. I was getting bullied in middle school, and she stuck up for me. People don't stick up for me. People just let it happen. I'm the weird kid with no legs. And there's no one else. There's no one in a school with thousands of kids, and I'm the only one like this. I'm different. I stick out. No one really wanted to be my friend. She was my friend. My friend Jake was my high school head coach's son. He wanted to be my friend. They didn't see a problem with me. They saw that I wanted to work hard. They saw that I wanted to have friends just like they did, and they welcomed me in. And on top of that, my friend Noah and my friend Sam. Those 4 people, up until I moved into my mom's house, those were the only friends I had.
And were you always in the same area, essentially?
No.
Are you all over the country, or is it all over the state?
Just I was in Ohio for the most part, but at the same time I lived in New York and I lived in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But for the most part it was Ohio. From 4th grade till I graduated high school, I was in the Stark County area.
So it's interesting. I moved around a lot as a kid. Much different situation. I remember in 3rd grade, I went to 3 different schools in 3 different states in 3rd grade. And I loved it. My sister did not like it very much, and she was affected. So imagine that situation. If you're moving, like how many times did you move in a year was your record?
I don't know if I could tell you that number. It's a lot.
Seriously?
I've moved so many different times. I just stopped counting because I just expected it to happen at some point.
So this stability with mom, what's her name again?
Kimberlli.
This was really the catalyst to turn you around.
Yes.
But how did you take so many years of negativity?
Yeah, that's the thing.
And then
bombarded
switch it?
with negativity.
Or, gosh, it's funny. So I learned this connection piece with people recently, and to like form a deeper connection with people, you sort of ask about the worst things that happened to them, and then you figure out what gift it gave them. It's a weird way to say, but like for a lot of people, they get cancer, and then it gifts them the mindset to start treasuring their family members, go on that trip they never went on. So I guess maybe is that a weird question, but like, what did this experience gift you when it was all said and done? Frankly, I can't figure out how you're so normal. I mean, like, you seem like a pretty normal dude.
I am far from normal.
Oh, okay. Well, on a
But
20,
in terms of like,
I want to hear that though. Like, what did it? Was it just too bad to even be considered a gift, or what did it gift you?
No, I wouldn't say it's a gift, but it opened my eyes that the world's not as nice of a place as it seems to be.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. Let me rephrase. The experience was not the gift, but what did you learn about life going through all that propelled you?
Life's not fair, but you gotta keep moving forward. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and I accepted whatever happens, and I would just hope for the best, and the best did come. Good things come to those who wait.
My youngest, my 5-year-old, is heavily into wrestling and has been fairly successful. That is the ultimate sport that teaches you that life isn't fair and there's going to be really a roller coaster of ups and downs.
Why is that?
It's just, wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, with wrestling, trust me. After I've got my head kicked in more than I've won matches, but at the same time, the matches I've won have been big matches. Learning that lesson of humility, knowing that you're not the best guy in the room, but you do have the abilities to make change and make improvements. I like that. It's
Like all sports.
No, it's
yeah,
different,
like,
Paul. Like the pomp and circumstance of a football or baseball game, just the build-up and the this and the that, and there's just goes for 3 hours, and then somebody loses. If you go to a wrestling match, you know your opponent about sometimes 10 minutes beforehand. You shake hands, you start, it lasts 6 minutes, and you might lose 3-2, and you shake hands and you lost. It's like all your hopes and dreams can be crushed so quickly, and they don't. You just walk off the mat and that's it, right? It's just so fast. Like you could think you're on top of the world. Next thing you know, boom, you just it's just so high and low. It's not like this big, there's nobody to blame, right? It's just you out there. So what do you love about that sport?
What I love about wrestling is that anybody, and like, I'm not saying that anybody can do it, but if you want to work hard enough, you can definitely do it. But that's like that with a lot of sports. But at the same time, wrestling isn't for everybody. It's a very demanding sport. It takes a lot of your time. It takes a lot of your focus. It takes a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work. I've seen a lot of people quit after trying one practice.
How many matches did you lose before you won your first one?
I don't know, over 100.
So I guess my question to you is, I consider myself very dedicated towards being able to sit there and say, oh, I failed, move on. But over 100, I even wonder myself, I'm just like, Paul, let's be real here. Like, I mean, you said you loved it. How can you love something that you lost over 100? And I'm not asking it to be sarcastic. I'm asking it to get everybody who's listening and watching to understand, like I'm an avid chess player. I have a chess coach. I take it very seriously. If I lose 3 games in a row on the internet, I'm just like, pump up the brakes, take a break, go do something else, come back later. If I lost 100 in a row, we're not playing chess anymore. You know what I mean? Literally, I'm just like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here?
How'd you fight through?
Yeah, how'd you get through that?
You know, when I first started, that was literally the only thing I was allowed to do aside from going to school and going home. And so I loved it. I still remember my very first practice I ever went to. I walked in, didn't know what anybody was doing.
How old were you?
I was 8 years old. I walked in, I didn't know what anybody was doing, but it looked fun. Seeing people get picked up, dropped on the ground, and you know, who doesn't want to do that? I mean, that was my thinking. Like, it looked like pure fun. And trust me, and on top of that, I was a hyper kid, so I got to go to wrestling, and I'd blow off all my energy from the day, and I'd be tired, and I'd sleep at home.
Talk about the support of your high school teammates. What was that like?
It was fun. They're one of the best group of guys I've ever been around. Yes.
Washington High, is that what it is?
Yes, Washington High School.
Yeah.
Home of the Massillon Tigers.
That's right.
Infamously known for football.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But my teammates, they never treated me like anybody. They didn't treat me different. They treated me like everybody else. I got into fights with them every once in a while. You know, it's stuff like that happens. These things get heated, but at the same time, we pick each other back up. Somebody falls, we pick each other back up. We work harder. And if somebody wants to stay after practice, we stay after practice, and we work hard. We try to figure things out. And on top of the coaches wanting to help me figure out my wrestling style, so are my friends. Because, you know, my teammates, they are my friends, and they wanted to see me do good. Because they knew that I wanted to be right up there with them. Because my friends, they were the guys that were the captains. They were on varsity. They were just beating people left and right, and I wasn't doing that. And I wanted to be there with them, and they would help me all the time. And I finally got to the point where I could do that. And it was the best feeling when I could walk out there, get a dub for my team, and watch my friends win right next to me. That's a good feeling, seeing like your friends seeing you win, and then they win. Everybody's winning. It's a good feeling because, you know, you want to see everybody that works with you succeed.
Talk about your coach. He was pretty emotional in that documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been involved with sports my whole life. Paul's been reading stocks since he was
I did sports too. Relax.
Some sports, and I joke, but like talk about your relationship with him and how he helped, you know, go through your journey through high school.
So the crazy thing is, he's a twin. His identical twin brother was the guy that got me wrestling in second grade because his twin brother, Greg Donahue, was my second grade art teacher, and he's the one that gave me the wrestling flyer to take home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a small world, right? And I wasn't even in Massillon at that point. I was in North Canton. Oh. And so when I went to Massillon, I remember I walked into the wrestling room the one day, and I was sitting there, and I was like, Mr. Donnie, he said, nice to meet you. And I was like, confused.
Oh, so you didn't even know he had a twin?
No, it
that's
was
funny.
pure confusion. So I was like, all right. And then he was like, oh, you think I'm my twin brother? And I was like, oh, okay, like that's cool. But no, it's the crazy thing. When I made the jump from North Canton to Massillon, Greg had called Gil and told him I was coming.
Oh.
And before I even got there, they were already planning ahead on how they could help me excel in my wrestling. Because, you know, he likes to think. He wants to see different ways of doing things. Because Coach Donahue, he's a very intelligent man. He's a phenomenal wrestler. Yeah, he coached at Massillon for 20 plus years. I think it was about 22 years he coached there. And, you know, he would stay after practice with me all the time. He'd beat the crap out of me. Not like beat me up, but like, you know, he'd make me work hard every day. Even when I was a freshman and I lost all the time, every day, he'd be like, oh, look, well, this didn't work, so we're gonna scratch that. Let's try this. Oh, that didn't work. Let's scratch that. That didn't work. Like, a lot of stuff didn't work. And that just kept continuing for years, but it'd always be a working process. And I remember I was at this tournament my junior year. It was the one match that I won. One of the two matches I won. I was in the first round at this tournament called the WIT Invitational, and I hit this cat with what you call a tilt, and it was really sloppy, but like I got points off of it and I won. So he was like, I got off the mat. He said, okay, I'm going to make you practice that, and you're going to do that all the time.
Because you pulled the one time off.
Yeah, and it was something successful that I did that worked very well for me. And, you know, I went back that next year, my senior year at that tournament, and I hit that exact move all the way through the finals.
Really?
Yeah.
So how'd you do your senior year? What was your record senior year?
33 wins, 15 losses.
Oh, wow. 0-0-2-33.
Yeah, I was saying when I was watching it, I was saying before in the podcast, I couldn't understand how you did it without having some sort of lower leverage. But then I realized that the other person has to somehow get behind you, and that you're so fast and incredible with your hands.
Oh, and that's another thing too. I had to work on speed. I was not fast. Now I'd like to say I'm a decently quick wrestler when it comes to reaction time and setting up everything, that perfect timing. I didn't have that. There was this coach, his name was Kyle Huss. He's the coach at Fairless High School out here now, but he was assistant coach at Massillon when I was in high school, and he was just so ridiculously fast, I could never touch him. Like, I go to reach for his leg, and I'd just be, like, stubbing my fingers on the mat all the time. And he's like, you're going to get faster. You got to get faster. If you want to be able to take these guys down, you have to get faster. So, did a lot of speed training all summer. Between junior and senior year, a lot of speed training, wrestling almost every single day, seeking out people, getting as much help as I could. And everything kind of just melted together. And I didn't know how I was going to do at the start of the season. I had no idea. I was nervous. Because that summer, I wrestled at this tournament in Kent, and I got my butt kicked pretty bad. Casey was there. And so was Devin. They coached me. And I got
good coaching, guys.
Too soon, Paul?
Too soon.
But I got my butt kicked. But after that, I kept training more, didn't wrestle any more matches that summer. Senior year starts, and I come out the gate. The first 9 matches of my senior year, I just didn't lose.
Whoa!
I just kept winning, and it felt nice. It was different.
Oh yeah.
And I just kept beating cats left and right, and it wasn't like I was just beating anybody. I was beating I was beating the better guys.
Yeah.
So it was a little different. People, I don't think people knew how to take it. I was just happy that I got a dub.
Yeah.
Because, you know, after losing for 3 years, that felt pretty nice, you know? And
so let's shift to talk about like what you're up to nowadays. Like,
Well, can I ask one quick question?
Go ahead, Paul.
When did you get jacked?
between junior and senior year. So,
I mean, your arms are like huge. Your shoulders.
So
look at his shoulders.
I have
over there.
stretch marks from that summer.
I have them in other places.
I lifted.
because of other reasons. But keep going. Sorry.
So
man.
I blew up over that summer, On top of my mom.
Which was your
feeding
favorite
me.
steroid? I'm just kidding around. Don't answer that.
Dude, you saw the video, right? He's got like chains wrapped to him.
Dude,
And he's doing all these
it's-
pull-ups and shit.
It's nuts.
It's heavy, but those 3 months between junior and senior year, I've really made it a point to get better at wrestling. I didn't really hang out with anybody. I refused to. My mom would be like, "What are you doing today?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go wrestle with Coach Donahue." And she'd be like, "Okay, she's like, have fun." And I'd be gone 3-4 hours because we're going over technique. We're doing a lot of conditioning.
Well, you
we're
love
lifting.
it.
It's not that I loved it. I felt a sense of urgency to really focus on it because I wanted to be better. I didn't want to have another year like the last 3 years. I didn't want to end my high school career like that. And plus, I wanted to go to college. I wasn't gonna get into college wrestling the way I was.
Yeah.
There's no way.
And where'd you go? Kent State?
I went to Kent State, the Tusk branch.
Okay. And did you wrestle there?
Yes.
Oh.
But I just kept lifting and lifting. I went from only being able to lift like 140 pounds to
Which is still more than
lifting
me.
225 pounds in 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah. And it was nice.
Maybe he is on steroids, Paul.
3 months?
But
He
after
will not
that-
be checking your blood, by the way.
Okay, all right, cut the bullshit. What have you been up to nowadays? Like, what's your story nowadays? What is exactly you say you do around? What is that from Office Space? What
What would you say you do around here?
Yeah. What are you into now?
I'm currently trying to make the Olympic team for track and field.
Now, how does that work? Come
For
on.
track
man.
and field.
Yes, I'm the second fastest 100-meter sprinter in our country, and I'm ranked top 20 in the world.
Oh, hold on a second now. Let me just can you say that again? I'm confused.
You want me to say it again?
Yeah. What?
Oh, I said I'm the second fastest 100-meter sprinter in the country, and I'm ranked top 20 in
So
the world.
what is your time on the 100 meters?
My 100-meter time right now is 15.26 seconds.
I know many people that would not be able to do that right now. Luckily, I'm fast. You want to race?
You might pull something.
Oh yeah, want to hear a little backstory about that?
Let's hear it.
I have not been doing track as long as you guys would think that I've been doing.
How long have you been doing it?
I started track my senior year.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah. I only had I had like a month and a half, 2 months to train, and then I ended up winning 2 state titles and placing in 2 more events at the state meet. And then that same year, that summer, I went on to win junior nationals, and then I got second at the world trials the year after that. And then I tied the American record the year after that, and now I'm trying to I want to be a world champ. I want to break world records. I want to be the top dog now.
So what's the 100-meter dash world record?
It's like 13.44 something. It's fast. It's really fast.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not the, yeah. What's the category?
What do you mean?
Are we talking able?
No,
No,
so
no,
like
no.
so like the chair. So
No.
so we have like these chairs. They're super light heavy. They're super. Well, I was about to say light heavy.
Do you say? Am I an idiot? Do I say able-bodied people? What am I saying? Is it?
No, there's like able-bodied racing, but there's different classifications. So you have your
Thank you.
able-bodied people.
That's what I'm saying. What's the
and then-
classification
So
of it?
I am a T54 for the racing in the chair, and that's the highest functioning class to race in the chair.
So T54 wheelchair racing. There it is.
So those are the fastest guys in the chair. So I'm.
There's
in
videos of
that.
you on YouTube doing this.
Probably. I never really look.
So you have to like.
I use these gloves I have these gloves that are molded to my hands.
Molded to your hands?
Yeah, so like they make this plaster mold, and then they put this rubber covering on it, and the wheels have these rubberized rims, and I strike the rims, and there's a technique to it. So like you strike the rims, you come down, you release.
I gotta see this.
You gotta strike it, release. There's a video somewhere on my Instagram.
You're the
of
second
me doing
fastest.
it.
In the country.
Oh my
So
god.
what's AQS mean?
I'm not good on terminology. I just know I got to move forward and turn left.
Yep.
So
Well, it's sitting there talking about the qualification levels.
So were you supposed to go to like the Olympics this year?
I was supposed to race the trials this coming year, and I think I would have made it.
That's awesome.
I have really fast times. My time has been dropping like a rock since I've been in the sport about 4 years now. Because it's coming right out the gate. Instead of racing in college, I ended up racing in the professional level. at 18 years old, which was really, it was different because, you know, everybody's older than me. I'm the youngest guy at pretty much every single meet. But at the same time, I'm beating all these veteran cats, and all these guys that have been racing like 10, 15 years up. I've been racing like a couple months. And, you know, I wanted to be faster. And the crazy thing about that is freshman through junior year, the track coach at my school kept asking me to do it, and I kept telling him no. He'd be like, oh, you should try this. And I'd be like, nah, bro, I ain't feeling to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, senior year, I finally gave in, and I wish I would have said yeah. Back in my freshman year, I could have been a multiple-time state champ.
So when did you decide to create like your own brand? You got the T-shirt, you got the logo, the website.
Oh, there's a whole story behind that too. So last May, so about a year ago.
13.63, by the way.
13.63?
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
I don't think I could run. No, I couldn't run that at all.
It's
I'd run a 22nd.
Because the word.
Yeah, I don't think you're running 13.63.
The guy that beat right now, his name is Leo Pacatati. I think I said it. I probably butchered his name. Sorry, man.
Who cares?
But he's the world champ right now. But you know he's older too. Everybody that's like at the top of their game, they're older. They're getting ready to retire, and I'm still learning.
I was gonna say, what age are they? Like when they're retiring, what age are they?
Like in their mid-30s.
Oh, so you still got 12, 13 years to go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried. I want to be able to become world champ here like next year and just hold that title till I retire. That would be something great.
Number 2 in the world, in the country.
Yes.
Number top 20 in the world.
It's kind of weird to think about that because, you know, I'm not just 2 years ago, I finally was taken out of being called a rookie. And now I'm just racing with everybody else.
So you do that. You also give motivational speeches.
Talk about that.
So I was wrestling at Kent, and I was getting decently known in the wrestling world. I'm a pretty dominant wrestler now. I was being pretty dominant there too. You know, I was in class one day, and the athletic director knocked on the door and was like, I need to see Zion right now. And so I'm like, oh man, what did I do this time? Because sometimes I would, like, you know, everybody gets in trouble.
Yeah, we all get back to our old days, our old ways.
Yeah, well, I wasn't in my old ways. I was just being stupid. But I was like, man, what did I do now? Because I was like, I didn't throw a party this past weekend. I didn't do anything dumb. I'm all my work's turned in. What am I doing wrong right now? And he closes the door of his office and he sits down this big stack of papers. So I was like, what is that? And he told me, he said, there's this school up in Cuyahoga Falls that all the kids, there's only about 100 kids in this little elementary school, and they were Syrian refugees. They were taken from their families across seas because you know how all the war stuff was going on. It's a dangerous place for children to be at. And he said that the school showed him my documentary, and they all like drew me pictures, wrote me letters.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it moved me. And I told him, I said, is there anything I can do for these kids? Am I allowed to do something for these kids? Can I talk to them? Can I do something? And he was like, let me get a hold of the principal there. And he did. And within a couple of days, they didn't tell the kids. They just had them in the gym. And I came in and their eyes lit up. And I got to talk to them. And, you know, these kids, from their letters, I saw a lot of myself in them because they're in foster homes. They're with people that they have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
And they don't know what the system's like, anything like that. They're from a completely different country too. And I spoke to them, and I was able to resonate with them on just a different level. And I got done. This one girl made me a shirt that said "Be a Zion," and I had Kent make it for me. So it was like a Kent State shirt, but it said "Be a Zion," and it was so cool. And I was able to give every single kid a shirt, and it was amazing. They were so happy. I was getting letters from like the foster parents, the families, like, thank you, hope to see you do well. And you know, these kids, they even wrote me more letters saying like, thank you, we love talking to you. It was so fun for fun seeing you be here. And they were like, they just seemed so much happier because from the letters that they wrote from before to the letters that they wrote after, you could tell the change in the mood. You could just tell that they were kind of upset. They were inspired because they saw what I do. At the same time, they felt hurt because they were going through it. After talking to me, it seemed like their spirits were lifted. They were happier. They were going to try to go after their dreams. So what you want kids to do, you want kids to go after their dreams and to achieve what they want to do, because you don't want to tell a kid they can't do this or that, or tell a kid just because this is happening you can't do that. Don't matter what's going on. Go after what you want. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but if you like what you're doing, be the best at it. And if you want to be that doctor, you want to be that coach, you want to be the president, if you want, it's a lot of work, but you can do it. It's not impossible. Anybody in this room could be the president if you really...
Not after what Paul said on the podcast last few weeks.
Sorry. Wait, what did you say?
Well, so tell me this. Talk about some other cool places you've spoke at.
Oh, okay. So I spoke in Boston. I've spoke in Rhode Island.
Is it mostly the schools?
I speak at schools, for companies.
Oh.
Anybody who wants me to speak. I spoke in Boston, Rhode Island, Cleveland, Ohio, Pennsylvania, spoke in Wisconsin, spoke in California, spoke in Arizona.
Companies, like big companies? What?
So you guys heard of F45?
No.
It's owned by Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg's a part owner.
Oh, wow.
And they're all over our planet in almost every country. I spoke at their world convention in front of a couple thousand people. That was probably my biggest event I've done so far. It was just
Was that exciting?
Oh man, I was so nervous. I downed like 6 Red Bulls before I got on stage.
That helps.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I got out there and I was nervous. My heart's thumping. Like I felt like my heart was about to just flop onto the floor. And I went out there and I killed it. Never seen a group that big. Never, like I kind of try to stay on the same thing of what I say.
Yeah.
Because I want to motivate, I want to inspire, I want to lift people up.
Of course.
And I went out there and did that, and I kid you not, I had thousands of people cheering, screaming on their feet when they were done, and I didn't even know what to think of it. I just sat there like, whoa.
When was that?
Last September.
Awesome.
It was in Vegas too, so it was just.
So after dealing with so much
hookers,
so much shit, I'm trying to get all emotional. It's just coming in.
And I chime in with hookers.
Yeah, nice one, Paul. That was good. With dealing with so much shit your whole life, and now like you speak and people love hearing dumb podcasts like ours, have you on, like you're on Ellen, you're like all over the place. You have how many Instagram followers? You have 250,000?
Close. I have 248,000 followers. It's amazing. It's growing by the hundreds each day.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Like what is this like this roller coaster of like the hand you've been dealt, the way people have been treated you the way you've been treated your whole life through foster care, and now you're going the trajectory seems so high. Like, do you have moments to be able to reflect on this, like what it's meant to you?
I try to stay very humble, because I have a strong faith. I believe that God has a reason for me to be here. He has a reason that I might not even know still to change the world, I'm here for a bigger reason than myself. Like, cool, I made it out. Cool, I'm doing some cool things right now, but it's not for me. It's for everybody else that I can affect, everybody else that I can help, everybody else I can get out of that rut they're in. You know what it's like when somebody messages you or somebody gets a hold of you, somebody sends you an email, whatever it is, saying that they were about to commit suicide, that they really wanted to die, that they just wanted to end it all, but seeing what I'm doing really just completely changed their way of thinking. I think it made them think that there's more to live for. There's more I can do to change the world myself. If this guy can change the world, why can't I change the world?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I want out of this. That's what I won out of this from the beginning, since that first speech in Cuyahoga Falls. And that's why I'm going to forever want out of it.
And it's great that you're just so young. I mean, there's so much more that you can do and will do. You know what I mean? It's not just like, I mean, you're 23 years old. There's so Seth, what are you doing at 23? You're one of your PhD?
Yeah, so I went to 10 years of college, and I don't even use it anymore. So we all have these different life paths that we learn from. But, yeah, I had a Red Bull before this interview too, Paul, because I was super
Do you have 6 Red Bulls?
no, I wasn't that
I
nervous
drink them
for it.
religiously.
Do you?
But I mean,
them.
when Zion's people got back to me so quickly, I thought there was a chance we could have him on the show. And then I'm like, oh my God. I mean, because my kids love wrestling. We watch your videos. Like I said, I've watched it multiple times. And
Good thing your kids could be here today.
yeah, my kids, I wanted to have my kids here, but they're little ones. And,
Awkward.
yeah, so I was going to have them, but they're too small. But
What does
yeah,
that mean?
well, they can only hone in their attention for about 5 minutes, and they want to play on the phone or something, So
Yeah, kids and kids.
so how often do you get to wrestle anymore? I mean, I didn't want to be too crass and ask you to take down Paul.
I mean, do you guys want me to? There's space right there.
I want you to wrestle Seth because Seth's a
No,
wrestler. I've never wrestled in my life, so
Well,
why
listen,
why don't you guys wrestle one of these big guys over here?
that man right there.
no, I'm not wrestling either one of those guys.
I thought I was big, but I mean, but good Lord, I wouldn't mind. Look, I'll lock up with you for a couple seconds. I want to see what it feels like to feel the Zion.
Just feel my grip strength. I got you.
Oh,
just let me grab your wrist. So that's the tight grip. Like you can try to pull away anything you want. It's just you're not. Really
not happening, Seth?
Not going nowhere.
I can't speak.
If you look at your wrist, I leave like hand marks.
Oh my God, it's right there.
Okay, I do want to try and lock up with this cat after the podcast. We'll get it on B-roll. I want to see because like I was watching your wrestling, and you do a lot of spinning, right? They're trying to
Yes.
the spinning is like an advantage because we don't have like a lower end to sort of hold you back. If someone tries to grab, he's just spinning and moving. I wouldn't know how to score any points on this dude, but I want to give it a shot. So
Can we go somewhere and hustle people sometime? Like,
Oh, trust me, I've been thinking about this so much.
it's like white men can't jump, and they're like,
Yes.
"Who do you want out there? I'll take that guy," and it's a complete hustle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, pick anybody.
yeah,
in this
but look
crowd.
at his arms.
Like,
I mean, it's hard to hide this.
Go to the beach, just lay in the sand, be like, "Hey, I'll give you $100. You can take me down." Just some randos.
Okay. What are some hilarious things that have happened to you in your life that I don't know, like I guess most people would be like, well, how does this hold you back? But I want to know, like, what are some hilarious things that you can do with your frame and stature?
I can do backflips.
Oh, gotta see it on air. Let's do it right now. Let's do this.
Oh no!
No, we're seeing a backflip.
Paul,
I haven't done one in a while.
Well, then you can't say you do backflip.
Paul,
Oh,
just-
it's been a couple of months.
This is incredible.
keep going. What other things?
Oh well, okay.
No,
I'll just go
I got
fuck
thrown at a basketball hoop to dunk it.
What?
Am I supposed to laugh or?
No,
I'm laughing.
I'm very serious. I was in Woodland Hills out in California, and my boy Mata, he's another part owner of this Real Deal company, and he woke me up at like 6 a.m. He said, Zion, wake up. I said, what? He said, hey, can I throw you at the basketball hoop? Like, let's alley-oop today, bro. It'll be viral. I said, okay.
So he throws you and then you like grab the rim and dunk, or how does it
No,
work?
like he threw me and I one-handed it.
Oh,
Is it on
I
YouTube?
see.
It's on my Instagram.
Oh, so
it
he
was,
threw you.
It was on like the national.
So tell
television.
everybody what your Instagram is.
How do people find you?
It is. I need to change this now.
Why?
Because it's obsolete. Because now that the games aren't in
Is that it?
2020. But
Some hot chick
Hot
on
chick.
Paul's phone. He likes to follow.
What was it? What was the name?
Busty
It's-
Women's on Instagram. Women's, I said.
Women's.
women's. But it is big_Z_2020. I need to change that.
Why you got
I
to
will
change it? What's wrong?
Because 2020 was like a reminder to myself, like I'm gonna make the team in 2020, and then 2020 ain't happening. So
I mean, you got a badass name. You could be stuck with Seth Kirchanen, but Zion is like it's got to be like
Zion's
at Zion Badass Clark.
yeah, I gotta get my name bigger than Zion Williamson now. I'm like challenging him.
I did think
I
about
was gonna say. I was like,
Well, us two, Zion Williamson and me, with our name, we're the two biggest people with our name.
I'm sure
It's
he's going to
kinda
want to
cool.
meet you at some point.
Oh,
I mean,
we're
you'll be-
trying to. I have a couple connections in the basketball world. I know Jeannie Buss.
Do you really?
Yeah, owner of the Lakers.
she's hot.
Yeah, but
Paul likes Cougars.
She's dating Jay Moore. Jay Moore.
I don't know.
Oh, he's funny.
But she's amazing. Hopefully I was gonna link up with her this year, but then with Kobe passing, rest in peace, him, Gianna, and everybody in that crash.
That seems like a whole other lifetime ago.
I know,
this
doesn't
COVID
it?
Shit, so.
Yeah.
So where are you going from here? I mean, like, what kind of goals do you have?
Oh, Uninterrupted. You were with Uninterrupted, huh?
Oh yeah, LeBron's company.
Yeah, Mav Carter.
I'm gonna be doing something with LeBron and all those guys here when everything opens back up too, out in California.
That's awesome.
Are you going to move out there at some
Don't
point?
move out there.
I can't.
He's a big actor.
I love Ohio, but I can't stay here anymore.
Why not?
Opportunities, Paul.
I like the warm weather.
You like the warm weather.
I like the consistent weather. It doesn't have to be warm. It has to be consistent.
It's been a shit show this year,
Ohio
too,
is
with the
not
rain
consistent.
It snowed on May 9th, Paul.
Well, enjoy buying your 800 square foot bungalow for $14.8 million.
This is how he gets, like.
How was being on Ellen?
Ellen
Tell me
is
about
amazing.
that. Tell me about the real deal. What's the story with Ellen?
So, first off, Ellen's eyes are the bluest things I've ever seen in my
Piercing.
life. Yeah, she's like staring into your soul when you walk out on stage. It's kind of
You had to be nervous for that.
it
People
was
cheering and
it's intimidating.
Mom was there.
Yeah, but like when she's like first thing she does when I sit down, she grabs my shoulders. Is like, wow, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't know what to say.
Did they contact you?
Yes, I remember I was in my room at Kent and I got this email and it's like Nicole Ellen show, and I was like, oh, this is spam, so I ignored it, and I sent it to my manager, and then he called me back. He's like, you better answer that now, and I was like, why? And he's like, because it's really Ellen. So we set it up. I did all the pre-interviews and all that, and within 5 days, I was out in California on the show.
And you have no excuses, by the way, tattooed on your back, or is that just a drawing?
Oh no, it's on my back.
All right, right there.
I thought you were surfing Grinder, Paul.
Yeah, I was.
So Mom goes out with you. Did you know they're going to give you a car? Give Mom a car?
I knew they were giving her something,
they
but I
gave her a
didn't know it was
car?
going to be a car. Because like the way they were asking me questions, it kind of was a dead giveaway. But I didn't know what they were doing.
I mean, when they pulled that car out, your face lit up.
Oh yeah, that's a nice car, man. It's like a spaceship when you open the door. The rear view mirror, when you're backing up, is a live stream of the top of the car and the surrounding area. You can see yourself
What'd they
get
give
in
her?
and out of the car.
It was a 92 Mercury Grand Prix. And it was stunning. It was like, that caddy white, that off-white. Yeah. What was it? Escalade?
It was a 2019 Chevy Traverse.
Oh, wow.
With all the new
So is Mom pimping that
updates.
car in Maslin nowadays?
Oh, every day.
Awesome.
She loves to whip that thing around. It rides so smooth. You can't even tell when you hit a bump.
Now, in the documentary, you're like riding a bike.
Oh, yeah.
How do you pull that shit off?
A lot of practice.
Like one pedal on the right side?
Yeah. So when I taught myself to ride a bike when I was like 6, I think.
Oh, you didn't alter the bike. You just jump on a bike and
Yeah,
go.
I just I took the training wheels off and just kept falling until I figured out how to balance.
Unbelievable.
And I just literally, I get up, put my arm across the front handlebars, push the bike up so I can balance the bike standing straight up and down.
Right.
And then push forward and the bike moves forward. It sounds simple, but it's way more difficult than you think.
If you keep telling this story, some bike company is going to give you some badass like arm
better.
bike.
Doesn't
Right.
LeBron own a bike company? Answer yes. Answer talk to him.
Call LeBron. He'll want to hear from you.
I had to get a
Tell
hold
him
of
Paul's interested in buying the Lakers.
Yeah.
Paul, do you have any? How can people find you again if they want to reach out and have you speak at their company?
Big _Z _2020. And when you reach out to me, I have a whole team that reads through all the messages, so they respond very quickly as
Yeah.
obviously they
incredible.
responded to you guys quick.
And what do you think you'll be? Where do you want to go with all this? What's the end game? And listen, I know Paul has taught me how young we are, so you have so much life to live. Like, what would you like to be? I guess you say you're trying to strive for your dreams. What are they? What would they include the next 5, 10?
The next 10 years, there's not a certain thing that I want. I just want to be known as a good guy. I want to be known as the world champ. I want to be known as a successful businessman. And that's it. I want to be known as a good man. That's all. people, when my name comes up in conversation, they want to be like, that's a good guy. He's doing something good for the world.
Yeah, that's good.
You're I thought you said you were studying business. Like when you say businessman, like are you talking about the business of yourself, or you want to get into something?
Oh no, I mean like marketing myself in general it's a business.
Yeah.
Doing speeches, all the negotiating, everything, it's a business. You gotta learn how to talk to people. You gotta learn how to negotiate. I mean, obviously I have like attorneys and lawyers and all that negotiate like the big deals for me and everything. But in all that, you gotta learn how to navigate. Especially when you're in California, that's just full of sharks out there in the water, you know, because people, they will try to undersell you, but you got to know what your worth is. You got to stand firm and be like, all right, this is what I'm doing. Is this worth my time to do? Is it worth your time for me to be here? You know, I want to make myself known, make myself relevant in the conversation when it comes to being a businessman, when it comes to being a speaker, when it comes to just motivating. I want to keep myself relevant.
Sounds like a good plan, Paul.
Aces.
What do you mean, aces, spades, man?
Look at that.
Oh, there it is.
Boom. Did you see that bicep he just flashed?
I know. It's just, are you looking at these pictures on Instagram? I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I keep forgetting the real deal stuff. So
what is this?
Yeah, I was going to ask you what the real deal is.
So after the Ellen show, Jason Momoa was looking for me, right? So Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there, and he's like pounding on the door because, you know, he's huge and he's super strong, and he's just pounding on the door. Swipe to the next picture.
Guy?
I was choking him out.
Let's see.
But,
wow. Okay. So he.
That one.
Oh shit! That's gonna be me in about 10 minutes here.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But no, he was looking for me, and his best friend is Mata, the guy that I work with on Real Deal, and I didn't know that. And leading up to the Ellen show, Mata was messaging me, and I'm like, "Who's this weird bald dude messaging me?" And he'll think that's funny.
What is this Real Deal? I'm confused as our listeners.
So it's a nutrition company, and so we advocate to get outside, be real, be yourself, be you. Go out, just do something good. And on top of that, all our products, they're all natural. There's no hidden additives. There's no.
What type of products are they selling?
Bark.
I'm sorry?
Bark and grass.
Is this true? No. Oh, lemongrass? You were so poignant in that.
And he did a great job. Zion did a good job.
He
Just
jumped
keep
right on the
quiet. Just like, it's bark and grass.
It's big business. What else are they selling besides those two products?
So we're selling pre-workout. We're in the process of, so we have 2 different flavors. Very, very tasty. We have strawberry, and we have this green. It's called greens.
Mm-hmm.
And the
greens. Oh God, gross.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like greens. It gives you energy, but it's all natural. It's like vegetables. So if you're like a veggie head and you want to do that, it's like a tea. It tastes like tea.
Real Deal, got it.
But it's natural. It's healthy for you.
So you partner with these cats?
Yes, they approached me.
Yeah, who do you think that is?
I didn't know. Well, I know you play piano, drums.
Oh yeah.
Listen, we've been looking for a drummer
for our band.
For our band for months.
Yeah.
Although Mo wants to join our band now too.
Are you busy anytime soon?
I'll drum with some cats. I don't care. I love to drum. I have 2 drum sets anyways.
We need to get a drum set in Paul's house. He won't put one in. We need
there's a lot of kids in the house. We don't want to disturb them.
All right, listen, we're dragging. So plug whatever you want. What else? Where can people find you? What else can people get from you?
People can also get this amazing shirt that I'm wearing. It has a Z with the lightning bolt because, I'm fast. I'm a track athlete. And it says no excuses. It says my name on the side, and it says no excuses in the exact format of my tattoo on the back. Now, I'm selling that to get a new chair. Obviously, I like to make profit for myself, but at the brand spectrum, I'm just a terrible person. But I'm selling these shirts to get another racing chair for myself because the one I have right now, it's new, it's nice.
These chairs got to be like $20,000-$30,000 for a chair. I don't even know.
They're about $7,000.
Oh, okay.
For something I can throw like a football. So I
I
think it's a little ridiculous, but it is what it is. It's the metals.
That's what
that
makes
use.
it so expensive. Is how light it is. Carbon fiber or something.
Yeah, that's the one I'm trying to get. It's the carbon fiber one.
Let's see.
It's gonna have like a carbon fiber frame, and the wheels, which are another $1,000 a piece for each wheel, carbon fiber wheels. It's gonna make it feel like I'm just floating on air. Because right now I'm starting to get close. I'm getting close to maxing out my speed in that chair. If I get the carbon fiber one compared to the other one, that's like a couple ounces I can take off, which doesn't seem like a lot, but
A couple ounces. That's incredible.
yeah, but it's gonna make that difference. And I need to get another chair like this one.
Nice. All right, guys. It's been good having you on, man.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me, man.
I was stoked you're here.
This is great.
I actually lost sleep because I just thinking about this interview. Would I ask the right questions? Could I embarrass Paul like I like doing? And
I don't get embarrassed.
I
I love
both.
Seth.
I think I've done both. But okay. So this is the Learn From Us podcast. Please subscribe below. Follow Zion. I will be following you forever. I can't thank you enough for being so generous with your time and coming down, giving us your thoughts. Yeah, this is incredible. We have a couple mutual friends, and I'm excited to sort of follow where you're going in life.
And stay in Ohio because you can go to the East Coast quickly for speeches, the South and the West.
He loves Ohio.
Oh, my family, we're from the South.
What part?
Like, Alabama.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we got pig feet, cow tongues, anything you want that walks on the ground, we'll eat it. So...
Yes, come back to Ohio after you do the LeBron thing. Go out there a little bit, then come home.
Don't do the LeBron thing.
Okay, fine, ball.
I'll be a trader for a little bit.
Follow Zion. Follow us. Learn From Us podcast. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
No problem,
See you,
man.
man. Awesome.